Welcome back everyone. In a video I posted last year, I explained that the server might reset after the 1.17 update so that the server would be able to have all the terrain changes involving deeper caves and higher mountains. Sometime after then, Mojang announced that they would be delaying the major terrain updates to around the end of 2021 in the 1.18 update, and so I subsequently announced that our potential reset would not be until after that happened. There are a few different possibilities about what the specific details for the reset will be. One possibility is that players will be able to keep their inventories and ender chests. Another possibility is a completely fresh start with nothing carried over. A third possibility, and my preferred one, is a sort of lockbox system. I would create another world with just a storage house and a bunch of containers with players' names on them. Then there would be restrictions on what players can put in those boxes. Maybe they are allowed to put anything in that fits in a certain number of slots. Maybe there will be maximums in terms of the amount of each type of item that can be carried over. Maybe only cosmetic and novelty items can be taken over, such as banners, books, the welcoming stick, and the apple of Matt. That last option is my favorite option because it allows us to truly get a fresh start while still being able to keep a few mementos of our time in the old world. Some people are upset at the idea of a reset because they would lose their progress, so I thought I'd provide a list of reasons why a reset is okay. Reason number 1, it would be easier to get new players. It is very difficult to find and advertise the server to potential new players. It is important to have a steady flow of new players because there are always people leaving, and if there are no replacements, the server becomes emptier. When the server is emptier, it is less fun for the people who stick around because there are fewer people to do things with. One of the biggest groups of people to advertise servers to are players looking for new survival servers. A lot of players don't like to join survival servers that have been going on for a while because they don't want to feel left behind. A reset presents a unique opportunity to target these players and to have a sort of grand reopening event for the server. We would get an influx of many new players to keep the server active and to prevent it from dying as we get further into the school season. Reason number 2, we can finally clean out the rest of the cheated items. The goals of TMV.ZONE have changed drastically over time. The first year of TMV.ZONE survival was largely experimental. The initial idea was to show how negligent and abusive owners can ruin the experience for the players, and how being an owner involves stressful responsibilities. Owners were given many powers to help prove this point. Things became way too chaotic, so I gradually scaled back the commands that owners had access to. One of the removed owner powers that was around for a few months was access to creative mode and the enchant command. Unfortunately, there was no way to verify that creative mode was not abused, as there is no way to log which items were pulled from the creative inventory. This resulted in many diamonds, dragon eggs, and other overpowered items making their way into circulation. Creative mode was removed over a year ago, but many of the diamonds being exchanged among players to this day may include those that were once obtained with creative mode. A reset would mean that all of these creative mode items would no longer be in circulation. Reason number 3, it provides an opportunity for new experiences. A brand new world means a new opportunity to create new towns, markets, and other landmarks across the new and exciting terrain. When TMV.ZONE returned in 2019, we saw a surge of many old players making a comeback in the game, and they stuck around for a while. I believe a reset has the potential to bring a similar resurgence. We have a very friendly community with members who are active in our Discord, but who got bored playing Minecraft, and there is a chance that they may start playing again if there is a new world, with new things to do. Reason number 4, other small survival servers are rarely long-term. If TMV.ZONE did not exist, most players would have been playing on some other small survival servers. Many survival servers are owned by kids, many of whom are immature. Aside from the drama and craziness in some of these communities, most of the kids that run these servers do not anticipate the time, money, and energy that it takes to properly maintain a Minecraft server. They realize after a few months that it wasn't the pure fun that they thought it would be, so they shut down their servers, often without giving their own player base any advance notice. That means that for all the players that played on that server, they are suddenly forced to find a new community to join and start fresh with their game. Additionally, even for small survival servers that do last a long time, many have resets fairly regularly. Sometimes they are once a year, twice a year, or every major Minecraft update. TMV.ZONE survival has gone over 2 years without a reset, which is not common. Reason number 5, it refreshes the community. 5 years ago, when I was a less experienced server owner, I used to desperately figure out what I could do to keep players on the server and to bring back the inactive players. I made all sorts of surveys asking people what they would want, and I would prioritize the answers made by players who were inactive or who were saying they were thinking about quitting if they didn't get their way. But what happened every time is that I would make all the decisions that the players threatening to quit and the inactive players wanted, but the inactive players didn't come back, and the ones threatening to quit ended up leaving after a few weeks anyway, even though they got exactly what they asked for. I changed my approach and listened more to the active players who weren't threatening to leave, and I had a lot more success and less stress as an owner because of this. It also helped to make the community better, as it filtered out the fussy players and kept around the relaxed and friendly ones. Funny story, when I closed my older Minecraft server in mid-2017, most of the community members were understanding about it. They expressed disappointment but were polite. It wasn't until a few months after the server was closed that I started getting angry and rude messages from some players. These were all from players who hadn't played the server for over a year. I'm sure you can all see how funny it is that someone who hadn't played on a server for over a year and didn't even realize that the server had already been down for months would be upset that they could no longer play on a server that they hadn't been playing on. Needless to say, these were the exact kinds of personalities that I was not looking to have in my community. For these reasons, I think a reset will strengthen this community. Even if some people leave, we will rebuild something better. Lastly, reason number 6. Most players get bored quickly anyway. Different players have different attention spans regarding how long they can play a certain game before they get bored and move on to something else. Many players get bored and leave the server after a few months or even a few weeks. It is very rare that players stick around for longer than that. Some players run out of ideas for things to do in survival Minecraft and pick a different kind of server to join. Others get bored of Minecraft altogether and play a different game. This is perfectly fine and normal. If you are a new player and upset about an upcoming reset, think about it this way. In an alternate reality where the reset wasn't happening, there is a good chance that you would have got bored and left the server before the planned reset date anyway. You may as well stick around and have fun while you are still actually interested in survival Minecraft. It's also for this reason why I encourage all those who want to leave temporarily until after the reset to keep playing. You may come back after the reset and get bored quickly because you aren't interested in the game anymore, and you will have missed out on at least 3 months of experiences you could have had up to that point. After the survival server is reset, I will be storing copies of the individual server towns and landmarks as warps on the creative server to visit like a museum. I also plan on providing special novelty items to players who are active during the weeks leading up to the reset to incentivize continued play. Anyway, thank you all for watching this whole video and have a nice day.